Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Hannah, and today we'll be making a white chocolate raspberry mousse. So stay tuned. Alright, so making the mousse is pretty simple. For the base itself, what you're going to need is some heavy whipping cream and some sort of sweetener. So as you probably know, in this family we like to use honey, but you also can use white powdered sugar or stevia or any other sugar alternatives if that's what you're feeling. It just has to be pretty fine so that it's incorporated in the cream pretty well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. We'll turn off the sound so you guys don't have to listen to that. Alright. So when it's gotten nice and foamy and it's almost doubled in size, that's when you're going to want to add your sweetener. So we'll go ahead and add about a tablespoon and a half of honey. You can add more of the sweetener to your taste. It's all about preference. So here we go. So the next step we have to do is melt the chocolate. For the amount of cream that we're using, we're going to use about a cup of white chocolate chips. You can use dark chocolate, milk chocolate. It just changes the flavor. The reason we're using chocolate though is that helps the mousse set up, and then it creates a nice creamy texture without being, you know, just whipped cream. So you can do it two ways. You can either throw it in the microwave for 20-second increments until it's fully melted, or you can put it over a pot in a double boiler. It's completely up to your preference, whatever works best for you. So we're going to do that now. Alright, now that that's nice and melted, we're going to do the next step, which is to combine the cream with the chocolate. How we're going to do this is in two incorporations. We're going to take about a third of the cream and we're going to mix that in with the chocolate. Now you can do this one pretty fast. You don't really have to worry about folding it in. We're just trying to get the chocolate a little bit lighter so that it doesn't deflate the cream. It doesn't take very long. You just have to make sure that it's fully incorporated before you throw it in. Alright, now that it's incorporated, we're going to mix it into the main cream supply. And you're just going to fold that in lightly. You do want to make sure that it's fully incorporated so we don't get any chunks of white chocolate and we don't get any spots without any cream. Now that that's all mixed together, we're just going to put that in the fridge to set up a little bit before we plate it. The next step is the raspberry topping. So what we're going to do is we're going to take about 2 cups of fresh raspberry, probably about a tablespoon of lemon, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to cook that on medium-high heat for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's all fully rendered its juices, gotten a little bit thick, and then we are going to take out the seeds. But we'll start with the first step. So take the raspberries into the pot, turn on the fire, get some sugar. That's 1, and that's 2. And then I'm going to do a big squeeze of lemon juice. And we will show you what happened. So what you're going to want to do is, as you're mixing, you're going to want to kind of mush the berries to get as much as that flavor out as possible. We'll go ahead and do that. And color has gone to this nice dark ruby red color, and when it looks like it's pretty much extracted all the flavor that it can, you're going to want to do the spoon test. So dip a spoon in, and if it coats the back of the spoon like that, it's ready. Getting the seeds out is a fairly easy process. It's just a little time consuming. What you're going to do is get a strainer. The mesh is smaller than the seeds of whatever fruit you're using. And then you're going to throw a little bit in there and just press it down until you have extracted as much of the juices that you possibly can. You can keep the seeds in if you want, but I prefer taking them out just so you're not biting on them. Now after you've gotten to this point, you're going to want to look on the underside. All of that is delicious, you know, jam type stuff that you can use in your topping. So just go ahead and make sure there are no seeds on whatever tool you're using to scrape that and get all of that lovely stuff off of there. With the seeds that are still inside the strainer, you can just go ahead and toss those. They are not of use anymore. They have fulfilled their usefulness. And then you just do this again until there's nothing left. Alright, now that all the components are chilled and we have fresh fruit as well, we're going to go ahead and plate it. So you can put this in any kind of container. We like using glass containers just so you can see through it and it looks a little bit cuter. What you're going to do is you're going to layer in the mousse and some of the jam topping, fresh fruit, and get it a little on the sides. You make it however you want. It can be a professional, then you can pipe it in. If you want to be a little rustic, you can drop it in like this. And we're going to throw some fresh fruit in there as well. Really, you just want to get every component in there so that you get a little bit with every bite. Now you want to let these ingredients sit in the fridge for ideally 3 to 4 hours. If you have the time, you can always make this the night before and have it setting up before you're going to serve it. But it does taste best when all of the flavors have had time to meld together and it's a little bit firmer. So we're going to go ahead and top it with some fresh fruit, and we'll clean up the sides as well. You can always finish it off with some powdered sugar or anything really, but we'll go ahead and clean this up and then make some beauty shots.